Hey, also Nitro nerds here. We're going to talk about electronics.
Electronics. Nitro nerds are in full effect. Let's do it.
From the flatlands, highly advanced. Check out the sound. From the flatlands, highly advanced. Check out the sound. Flatlands, highly advanced. Check out the sound. From the flatlands, highly advanced.
That's it, that's our solo single, no more, no less, it's one rule. Who's in the game, y'all never guessed it. Laws laid, the rules made, don't ever test it.
But I have something to say to you about the fact that I want to defend myself.
Highly advanced.
To know
Alright, and I'll give you my word that I'll do my best to try and not go too obnoxious with my new sound effects. See, I'm a technical guy, so I come across little apps like this, and I don't know, I like to play with them. I made some
Wild ass songs last night.
Let's go back to another form of technology, I guess, and that would be servos.
So here's how I'm going to do this. This is the template I'm going to use. So I'm encouraging you to be careful of what you read. There's a whole lot of yin-yang when it comes to which servos you should purchase for which vehicles. I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty... Often it's just these list makers who really define success. Buying the most expensive item, you know, they're basically saying,
Well, I got one of these high-tech 7988s. The most expensive out there.
and then, you know, everyone else chimes in.
Titanium's the only way to go. You ain't running titanium. You gonna strip that tranny.
I mean, why do they always get so adamant? You know, doom and gloom.
Carnage.
That's a whole nother video. You get burnt. The best part is everything that comes out their mouth. It's wrong. There's always going to be quite a bit of little movement, or whatever you want to call it. I'll show you right here. So I've got a whole slew of different sized body clips. That's really what it is. So I'm going to try this. I don't want it to be jarring like that. I want it to be padded. Yeah, it helped it a lot, a whole lot. I'm going to explain a little bit later in the video exactly what I'm referring to and what I did, but I got tips. All right, it's time now for the worst hide-and-go-seek player of all time. I saw a video not long ago where a gentleman had a real fancy servo and was showing it off on his YouTube channel. But the funny thing was,
It didn't impress.
and it was humorous until, you know, he started in with that,
This is the best on the market. You can't get no better than this.
then it became just, close your ears, kids, bullshit. I say that because he was missing a very, very important aspect when it comes to these servos, and that is they're only as good as you set them up to be. In other words, let's think through this. There are two things really that are dependent upon the success of your servo. So you get a servo and it has a rating. And the rating is based on the assumption that, number one, you have everything set up correctly, which you didn't. And number two, the power source is optimized.
I'm talking about batteries.
At the influence they have over your servo behavior. Okay, so the servo that we're going to use today is a Hi-Tech 7955. Now I've selected this servo because it's what I run on the Savage. In my analysis, you will not find a servo that will turn the Savage any better than this. There are some that will turn it as well, but none that will turn it any better. It's all documented, published. Everything is there packaged up for your own eyes. What we're looking at here is how the battery affects it. Let's start out with the old hump pack 6 volt that I've had laying around. I've used it, probably 300 times at least.
Unless otherwise noted, all batteries are fully charged.
Next up, here's the battery that I normally use in the truck. Alright, so 2 6-volt batteries. Take a look at the extreme difference between the two. What does this mean? Well, the more a battery is used and recharged, the less effective it becomes. This has been consistent with my experience.
There's not a damn thing you can do about it.
So my recommendation here is to keep an eye on the battery, and if you notice the power output changes, get yourself a new one. You can recycle it all you want. Not going to make a damn difference. Another 6 volt that is most likely past its prime. Here's a 6 volt I had laying around where I had to splice a new connection on it. Now I remember why I didn't have a connection on it. I took it off because the battery
Was crapped out.
When I used to have this problem, I inquired and was always told it's my servo. I've learned since, when you hear this, it's almost always your battery. Here's another NIMH. This one is relatively new, 6 volt. Still, look at the behavior difference. And finally, I'm about to black out the entire United States by putting a LiPo in non-high voltage servos.
When that battery melts your savvy, don't blame us. It's gonna strip that tranny as well.
Or that shit might get straight cracking. You never know. One way to find out though. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, big boy! Yes, sir, big boy!
Wow.